The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely fantastic guest coming your way. This young man right here, I'll tell you, he brings it. A man of God, I mean, just an incredible individual and human being. And he hadn't been on the show in a while, but you know, I'm looking forward to having him back on so he can help educate you with the word and also help make each one of us better. So how you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing today?
I am doing good, doing good. Got a great guest lineup this week, and we're ending it with a special guest today.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about the topic that he's going to be talking about. I'm also excited that all the great things that he is doing out there, not just in the United States, but all over the world. So Michelle, can you please do the honors and let our viewers and our listeners know the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest.
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is called The Global Shift, Reaching People Where They Hurt the Most. We're having a sit-down conversation with Bishop Mike Kingsley. He's the president and founder of the World Trumpet TV and Radio Network. We're going to discuss understanding localized pain points, leveraging technology for empathy, building collaborative networks, empowering communities from within. Again, the network is based in Dallas, Texas, and their mission is to spread the good news of the gospel of the kingdom to millions of unchurched and unsaved people around the world. He is also the president and founder of Only Prayer America, a Christian ministry that equips end-time believers to be equipped to pray for world transformation, a global harvest of billions of souls to be saved through discipleship and evangelism during the last days. As a leader of international missions and leadership development for the last 3 decades, Dr. Kingsley has been actively engaged in the field of missions and leadership development in order to provide 21st century leaders with the creative tools needed to equip their nations with the gospel of the kingdom and to enable them to spread the gospel all parts of the world. Please and welcome back to the show, Bishop Mike Kingsley.
It is an honor for me to be here with you, Dr. Michelle, Dr. James. What a joy, 2025. Honored to have me back and to get your live show today. What a joy. I'm honored. I don't know where to begin.
How you doing? Bishop? Been a long time since we had you on the show. And man, you are doing so many great things out there. And can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up at, why you're so passionate about what you're doing, and why is reaching out and saving souls so important to everyone?
Well, I'm going to be Dr. James. I'm going to begin by saying that, it's always an honor, to be with you because I get to see you every day. I don't know, are very consistent, both you and your wife, very consistent and very sold out, very determined to see the world transformed. I mean, I could spend days talking about myself, but I get to see you every day, all about, seeing people transformed through your foundation, through your initiatives, lifting other people up in the business sector, in the nonprofit sector. I mean, all people, all walks of life. And so I get to be excited to be with you today. And I believe we're going to have such a candid conversation that's going to really touch people's lives and change people's lives, this very hour that we're in. Well, the blessing that I have, I call it an honor. When God brings you into the earth realm, the first scripture that I'm going to say is that the word of God says that before I knew you, before you were born in your mother's womb, I knew you. It's like a theme of my life because for me, it takes me back to the essence of who I am and what I do. Because a lot of times we get so busy, with what we're doing and run all over the world, achieve many things. But what is it all about? Why are we here? Why do we exist on this plane? So then it goes back to our origination. For those of us who believe the foundation of Scripture, that God knew us. And because he knew us, because he's the originator of my life, so basically, because he knew me, that means he sent me here for a purpose. What is it? He sent me here for it. That means at some point, if he knew me, I knew him too. That's why there's an essence on the inside of me or inside of humanity that's got a godlike, alignment. We realize that we're spirit living in the body. So therefore, we said yes to get over here. For what? We got on this plane to accomplish a certain assignment, a task, and we're born and we're raised, we're educated, and we're prepared to face the world, come what may, in order to solve a certain assignment that God has given to us. And for me, it was through my father, who God used as the perfect, primary care, leader in my life, who pointed me and my journey to the right alignment of what God had called me. And it was the world. It was to see whether it was my childhood, friends and sisters and brothers and schoolmates, it was all about seeing their lives improve and turn around and transform and grow. And it excited me to see my dad be able to raise up other young leaders and other young men. So his whole life has been about being involved in other people's lives to see them transform and change for the better. And as I was growing up, I caught up to the same grace and the same, affinity of knowing my life, was set in motion in order to see other people transform, whether it's in Africa, where I've traveled many countries in Africa, whether it's in Europe, where I've spent a great deal in other countries, or East Asia, the many places I've been at any time, whether it was one person or two or 300 or 1,000, whatever it is, it's been about seeing other people. And that's been what my education helped shape, who I am. But what God called me to do, whatever he designed me to do, set the course of seeing what happens when other people are impacted with our lives. What happens when other people, we met them in their place of brokenness, in their place of fear, in their place of disappointment. We find them in a place where they just need a push. Their company cannot go to the next level, or maybe they don't have enough school fees for education, or maybe they've lost a father, they've lost a mother, they've lost everybody. And you're the one in a unique situation. Maybe they're homeless on the street and they have nowhere to go. And they just need maybe a bottle of water or food. And you're the one in that position that God has called. You're on the plane sitting next to somebody who's about to commit suicide, and you're the one that's going to give them the words of encouragement. Those are the moments that have shaped my life, and I'm very thankful and the opportunity that the Lord has given me to be able to be in what I call the ground zeros of whether it's a disaster in Louisiana or Haiti or the Ukraine as we speak right now. Our friends that we've sent over there, every moment that we've been given, it's been an opportunity to serve humanity, because we're going to be remembered by what we have done to make a difference on the universe. And then when I meet you right at the ground zeros of helping, lifting, imparting, mentoring, everything you do. And I'm like, God, thank you for connecting me to another man of God, a kingdom man of God, who has served this country, who has given his life, Dr. James Cooley, and your wife, and my heart gets excited because we're a big family and we need to get out wherever we are and just continue to do good. And so I'm excited to be with you today, Doctor.
Wow. I have watched you over the years, and you're doing some great things. And actually, we partnered together and did great things to bring happiness and joy to others. Because to me, I think it's all about giving back and lifting up everyone up as much as you can. And sometimes we need to be lifted up. We got about 1 minute before the break, but I have to throw this on you. If you had one word to describe who is Bishop Kingsley, one adjective that is, what would that be and why? 1 minute or less.
I would say I'm driven for purpose. Driven for purpose.
Driven, can you explain a little bit?
Driven for purpose means that every assignment that's been given to me that pertains to seeing other people transformed, I'm driven to that assignment. I am driven for purpose.
Wow. I tell you what, we got to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We got a lot more of Bishop Kingsley here. And if you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Listen up. It's Dr. JT Cooley. Yeah. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm sitting here with Bishop Kingsley, and been knowing this young man a long time, doing some absolutely fantastic things out there. I want to bring in to the show with us Dr. Tia Murray, who is the founder of Viridian Christian University. I know she just sit back and listen to that last segment, but I want to get her involved in this.
Hello. How is everyone today? Thank you for adding me. I wasn't expecting to be added, but I always consider it a pleasure to be on your show. And Dr. Mike, it's wonderful to see you and all of that great stuff. And I look forward to seeing and meeting you face to face in June.
Oh, Dr. Tia, thank you. I'm honored for us to be connected, and what a great, amazing work that both of you do, and
thank
glad
you.
to be here.
Thank you.
So Mike, I want to pick it back up. From a spiritual perspective, what do you see the most pressing society and spiritual challenges currently facing us in our communities, in our lives, in the world in general?
Thank you, Dr. James. I would start, there's so many factors that the world is going through, and what I call an ecosystem of evolution, both on a spiritual side, physical, in every way. You can point at so many things. I am very, very intrigued. It almost looks like, I'll give it an example. It almost looks like an ocean that's flowing, but it flows in different tributaries. It splits in different places. The world sounds like that at this point. And in the currency that's taking place, and you could literally feel in the atmosphere that there's what I call birth pangs. The birth pangs, it's an example that, a mother feels when she's about to give birth, and she starts to feel different levels of pain, because it seems like she's almost complete, almost about ready. So the world is screaming or crying out for help, both from the divine dimension from the physical dimension in every step of the way. So you feel that there's a vacuum, at the same time demanding answers. And then we're faced with wanting to find what those answers are, to feel wherever those questions are coming from. We want to feel it. We want to get into a space of harmony with who we are. But then, of course, every time people wake up, they wake up with the negative equilibrium, the effects, whether it's sickness, emotionally, spiritually, in every area. So the world is in a battle of itself. There's a spiritual battle that's taking place. And when we are in that place, in that position, or wherever we've been positioned to be, it demands that we as a people maybe take a stop, and especially having gone through COVID, this global alignment that really woke us up. It woke us up to rethink about what life is all about, because we came to a place where whether we had tons and tons of money or nice houses or everything, we couldn't use all of that. So that was another lesson to understand, okay, wait a minute, who are we in the global space of this ecosystem? We've never thought at a moment that everything could be on a standstill. But during that standstill, there was so many rethinking, reimagining, repositioning. There was so much death. There was so much anger. There was so much questioning of pretty much everything we've ever been told. Some parts of that is good, because when life is evolving and it brings you to a moment where you say, okay, where am I headed? Who I am? What is the source of this element of pain that I'm sensing right now? And how can I get out of it? At any time in history, humanity has faced this hard of a situation. There is been an inner search, and this inner search brings us to answers that either can solve today's problems. So going back to your question, what is this situation that we're faced with? We're faced with rethinking. And rethinking means we go back inside of who we are. As much as we've been able to gather so much great knowledge on the outside and what we've been told and who has told us and everything, but God has allowed us to go back inside of who we are. And when we step it back into who we are, then there is present help, present understanding that we are designed for something. And the first answer is for us to understand for this design is that, number one, we are unique. Number two, we are created for such a purpose as this. We are valuable. We are mighty. And the collective value of who we are, if we can put it together as humanity, we can bring a change. We can bring about a change in every sphere, in every society we're in. If we are people with collective thinking and minds and solutions, we can solve today's problems. Now, are we solving those problems today? Are we navigating even close to bringing the transformation we are demanding or needing? Are we even trying? When you look at the spectrum of where we are right now, it's chaos. What do you do when chaos is around us? What do we do in chaos? We're surrounded with chaos in Africa. We're surrounded with chaos in the United States. We're surrounded with chaos, in South America. We're surrounded with chaos on every spectrum. But I know one thing, that humanity has always realigned itself to every challenge it's faced, to every, top of the mountain moment. We faced it, and somehow it is always like a miraculous. It's like, let me go back to a little bit of science, the way how God created the ecosystem of our cell membrane. Our bodies were created to heal themselves. God created us, with such an intricate, powerful cell immune system that if it's not interrupted by anything, it's supposed to heal itself. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that for any attack from outside, it begins to rearrange itself to what is this? Is it measles? Is it fever? Is it a flu? Is it that? When the machines are laid into the body, it shows you that it's fighting off, what's attacking it. And I brought that metaphor to our viewers today, Dr. James and Dr. Tier, to show us that a lot of times people are wondering, where is my help going to come from? Where is my rescue going to come from? Where are the solutions to what I'm facing today? And most of the time, those answers are just right where we are, just like, because there's an automatic reaction to what can save us, to what can heal us, to what can revive us. And when we can understand what that is, we rise with great power to say, this one, we will overcome this one too. We will go above the mountain again. We will make sure that we find new solutions because we've been there before. Generations and generations have suffered. And even at that moment of those sufferings and atrocities, somehow there is been a rising on top of the mountain for us to be here today. If not, they've passed on what they went through. Their suffering became the solution of where we are today in order to have what we have. And so I'm very excited to have this very conversation with both of you, Dr. Tier and Dr. James, because I believe no matter what we're faced with, even 1,000 dangers, 1,000 enemies, 1,000 fires in California, we are going to find the solutions to our day. And I'm excited to have that conversation.
Dr. T, you're on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry. And here I was looking at it. You know, I agree a lot of what you say, Dr. Mike. You first off, you said a lot, and you made a lot of valuable points. But one of the questions what have you found? You're right. We have so much that's happening, so much that's going on. We have the fires in California. We have the fires now that are happening over in like the North Carolina. We have everything political. People are losing their jobs, are losing their homes. So much is happening. How are you finding peace in the midst of all of this? You know, it's easy. You know, we all know and believe. And we say, you know, you have to trust and believe, but sometimes it's hard when it seems like it just keeps coming at you. So what do you do? What are some things that you personally do to find like, okay, this is my woosah moment. This is what I do to get myself back in alignment so you can continue to keep going, because regardless of who we are, we all get to some point where it's just a lot and we got to take a step back. So what are some things that you do in the midst of everything and all of the wonderful things that you do? How do you find your alignment and your peace?
Well, very exciting question. You know, one of the things that I've learned that I teach people is that our entire ecosystem of our lives is we come into the earth through pain. Mm-hmm. Pain is not necessarily a bad thing. It's how we interpret it and what comes out of it. Mm-hmm. It's how we interpret it. Now, that's going to throw off a lot of people because they say, what are you talking about when I've lost everything? You know, what are you talking about when my life cannot go any farther, when I've been hurt and abused, of all these things that I've gone through? But the indicator of pain is also an indication that there's going to be a solution that's going to affect us for the better or for the worse. It's how we perceive it. It's how we embrace what's present. So when you ask me that question, I have learned, you know, because I wasn't born on a silver spoon and things were happening easy. Actually, adversity and, you know, the hurdles built me on the inside, because I came into the earth well not prepared for what it is. I didn't have, like, you know, when you like, you know, as an educator, Dr. Tier, you give people instructions on how they can better their lives. We won't, unless we are tutored or prepared by our primary care doctors, we're not prepared for what to face, but then we face it. The things we face after we've studied and the things we face when we don't know, we're not prepared for that. But either way, there's something divine on the inside of us that when it happens, it either will break us or it makes the best of us. And here's the example for me, especially being that you asked me that question. I have learned to first concentrate on what's right about me before I worry about what's not right. And what do I mean by that? Is that humanity has been taught, that when crisis happens, it brings dreadful fear. It brings every hell on the planet. It almost becomes the psychology of the Titanic. I'm drowning. I'm finished. I don't know where to go. I have nowhere to do this. So all of that vocabulary begins to bombard your spirit, your mind. And the more it begins to hit your mind, the more you're draining. They say that the effects of our words, actually, they are more powerful to even build several toxicity of enzymes in our body as we speak them, as we are walking in them. And immediately, when we continue to invite those elements of what we are facing, guess what? The level of defeatedness increases. The level of defeat increases because we are only opening our mouth, reacting to the situation that's around us. And instead of realizing, well, I'm looking at a situation here, I'm not in denial for what it is, but on the inside of me, there's strength, there is power, because there's no test that has been given to me that I cannot handle. There's no adversity that's been thrown at me that I cannot overcome. There's nothing. I'm built for something. And whatever I'm built is the measure that all of the things around me, and how do I navigate to them? The enemy wants me to open my mouth and spend it and say, I'm done, I'm finished.
Hold
I
that.
can't get out of this.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We got to take a station break. But I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I want you to continue to preach, because this is what we need to hear and we need to understand. So I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back with a lot more Dr. Bishop Kingsley and also Dr. Tia. If you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether it's E360 television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, radio, welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, just go to the comments on whichever platform. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you what, just absolutely fantastic guests. Actually, two fantastic doctors here are with us today, and what we're discussing, just in case you're just coming into the realm of things, what we're talking about today is the global shift, reaching people where they hurt the most. Where they hurt the most. And I believe each individual have their own set of pains and things. And one shoe don't fit all, but we have to reach them with the love of God. We have to reach them with compassion. We have to reach them with an open heart. We have to reach them knowing that we all lift each other up. That's what I think. That's what a world of love and compassion mean to me. So just like I said, we got these two great doctors here right now. My question to you, Dr. Mike, is we know that faith in the church, plays a role in making sure that we are able to reach people and also find the uniqueness in folks, because everybody hurt differently. At least I think they do. I know I hurt differently than you and probably Tia, and it's certain things. So how do we get our communities, our leaders, our preachers, everybody kind of on the same path or same waveform, that once you don't fit on, and you have to understand the individual that you're chatting with. Can you talk about that? And same with you, Dr. Tia. I want you to answer that as well. But right now, Mike.
No, you're right. You're very right about, the times we're living in right now. Because again, going back to the foundation of what I started to share about, the backdrop of the last 5 years has been a wake-up call. And in this wake-up call, we were reminded the value of life and what the essence of what God gave us, in this value that we have. And we've watched the last 5 years remind us to value ourselves like there's never been before. And by saying that, it is also woken up, a spirit of empathy. It's woken up the spirit of the humanitarian, forces for good. And people that are saying, I want to make a difference. I want to go meet the people where they hurt the most. For us at World Trumpet TV, that's one of the greatest missions that we've embarked on. We've looked at where we could spend our resources, what we can do. And there's no other value, system that we want to be part of except going where people are that don't look at it like us. They don't have advantage like we have, and love on them and bring healing to the very places in their hearts, in their lives. Because our planet, as you see today, even as we speak right now, is going through a very, very vicious, and we're getting to know exactly who people are. The people groups that we're going to pick are people who are determined to do much havoc and evil on this face of the earth. And the people that are going to rise up to bring so much good on this planet. And I want to be in the camp of people who want to bring so much good, whether it's in Cambodia or Africa or even here, in our United States, because there's so much. People don't realize that we've got so much need right here in our cities, in our inner cities. And my greatest joy is to be in those places where people that deserve and need our help, they're getting help. If not, then we mobilize an army for good, an army of kingdom men and women, businesses, CEOs. I call them impact leaders, educators, who have a heart to say, we are going to make a difference. We don't need nuclear weapons on the planet to kill people. We don't need explosions. We don't need any more diseases or whatever, COVID, for somebody who say it's going to be another wake-up call. What we need is to have men and women that are determined to bring goodness. And I believe that's what's going to bring such a greater hope for everything we're doing, whether it's in education, in finance, in housing, in every place. Make the world a better place,
And that's what's important, that we make the world a better place. And I think that comes through love and compassion. Dr. Tia, what are your thoughts on that? You on mute again?
My Yorkies are giving me trouble today, and I keep threatening them, and they're not listening to me. But anyway, I definitely agree with what Dr. Mike said. Is we need people to meet people where they're at. One of the things, I had an event not long ago, the Bloom from Within event, and we were talking women. We were together. We were talking. We were trying to encourage, empower. And one of the things that we found is people they want help. They need help. They just don't always know where to go. So I think that's very important for us. Sometimes we have to get out of our space, out of our comfort zone, and go to where they're at, because they don't know where to go.
Right.
You would think people to see the commercials and advertising, you can go here, you can go there, but that doesn't mean that those that are in need always knows where those resources are, where they can get support. So I think it is important that we meet people where they're at, whether we're meeting people at the beauty shop, whether we're meeting people in the grocery store, whether we're meeting people while we're walking down the street. Maybe it's our coworker, maybe it's a student. I was talking to a potential student the other day on the phone, and she got into sharing some of her story in her life. And so what I needed to do, I felt it in my heart, was to meet her where she was at, to have a conversation. We shifted that conversation from Meridian Christian University just to talk about what was going on with her, and then help her to identify some resources. And then we can always go back and talk about Meridian Christian University. But just having that mindset and really being open to helping people and going where they're at, and realize it's not always that homeless person sitting on the street. It could be your neighbor. It could be your coworker. People have so many inner struggles. That's why I believe that the suicide rate is as high as it is. They don't talk about what's going on in the hurt and the pain inside, but you can be that light for somebody. You can be that helpful resources. It's just we have to walk in our purpose and do our mission and to share the information.
And it's definitely all about taking the time to do this. And I know you mentioned about resources available. People see, commercials, whatever, but sometimes people don't have access to those resources, or they may not have access to technology. You never know what their situation is. They may not have a cell phone. They may not have a television set. So, and then even though you see flyers around, let's just be honest, there are people out there who are deceptive, and you don't know if certain things are legit or not. So, it's the uncertainty when these are presented to them. But I think it's definitely important to meet them where they are, in order to not to try to turn them your way, but just to be a friend, a friendly face, someone who they can be able to listen to. What do you think, Bishop Kingsley?
Well, hold that. We're gonna take a station break right now. Michelle, you come back and you ask that question again. I tell you, I thoroughly enjoying this conversation, and wow, Hey, Bishop, we can't go this long without having you on my show. Come on, man. I'm looking at the numbers right here, and you're inspiring a lot of folks. So I tell you what, we're gonna take a station break. If you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is go to that platform and ask any questions that you might have, and I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
But there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you're created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. Oh yeah. It's the 4 C's.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, wow, great discussion here. It ain't over. You know what? We just started. Okay, we only got 10 minutes left in the show, but this is fantastic. And Bishop Kingsley, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. You know you're invited back because you were preaching today, and I need you here next month as well. The world needs you. The world needs you. You know, so I tell you what, it's not too late to get on the comments. I'm looking at the numbers, and they're looking pretty good. What you see, Michelle? Do you see the numbers?
Yes, I do.
They're looking pretty good, but I want to pick it back up. Michelle, you was asking a question prior to the break. Can you re-ask the question and let the bishop answer?
Well, the question was, when you meet people where they are, they can be apprehensive, especially about a stranger approaching them, nervousness or whatever, and you never know what they've gone through, being trusting to others. So what are the ways that you would recommend not only meeting people where they are, about gaining their trust and making them feel comfortable in talking to you?
Very good question. And my approach to that has been always this. When you're driven when you're driven to be an ambassador for good, it becomes you. It becomes you're the ambassador of transformation. When people always know who you are even before you approach them, because when you're bringing something that you know will set their course of life in the better place, I call it the law of presence. They will sense it around you. They won't be apprehended, or there won't be a pushback, at least in what I've noticed. Very good question, because I've taught a lot of leaders, especially young leaders, especially in a culture that we live in that's so muggy right now, where everybody's living in their shell in a box. Most people don't want to open up on what they're going through, or whether suicidal and everything like that. Is that if you're the one that's been sent to them, don't wear, the black robe of judgment. Wear the white robe of love and kindness. And people, it's not just it's a metaphor for people sensing your presence, walking in the room. When you walk in the room, what's the first words that come out? The first 3 words that come out of your life. I met a young man on the plane, and this young man he had been hated because he had really transitioned to have a different lifestyle. And he had come to the end of himself in that lifestyle, and the doctors diagnosed him with a heart condition. And now life has beaten him up, judgment has beaten him up, he's judged himself, his family abandoned him. And I happened to sit next to him on the plane. And of course, we are all used to being, just minding your business, because, hey, you don't want to break the ice, the way I call it. But I had a nudge inside of me, because I know what I carry. I carry the presence of kindness. When I meet you, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, how are you? How are you? What's the corridor of your life today? How can I be of help to you? And sometimes when you say that, it scares people. But at the same time, it tells you, oh, wait. Nobody's ever asked me this. So I start to look at the young man. He's quiet, but I sense the presence of death all over him. The coldness was like that. Now I'm positioned to enter into that presence that literally he's judged himself, everybody, then the waters beat him up, and probably is coming to the end of himself. So I said to say, hello, how are you doing? I said, I don't know if you want to hear the rest of the story. I said, oh my goodness, we still have almost 2 or 3 hours to go. Please, I want to hear it. He says, I'm sitting over here because the doctors have given me 3 months to leave, and I'm headed over there. As I started to, now I'm quiet, because the chances are nobody has listened to him. Nobody has ever been quiet for like 15 minutes. So he's having to open up. And the more I'm quiet and not saying anything, he's opening up to me about his brokenness and his heart and all his fears. And every time he opens his mouth, for me, that becomes a sign, an address for me to where I'm going to minister the most. His identity is beat up because judgment has surrounded him. We live in a world like that right now. And so as I started to minister to him, all of a sudden his countenance changed, because now he found a stranger next to him that believes in him. That now just the words by themselves started to pierce into the place where death had already started to occupy. That the replacement of what judgment and death was taking over is starting to be replaced with elements of the words of love. And my kindness and care for a stranger that I didn't know, who's headed to, Tennessee, the life of death over him lifted. And the more I started to see that, the more I continued, because this is an opportunity that God has given me to meet a stranger hurting at their worst place in their life. And I'm the one that has been given that opportunity to enter into the element of his life. And we stayed on the plane, talked. I encouraged him. I spoke to him. I didn't know that the words that we spent for those 2 hours with him were life-changing, that the 3 months that he was given to leave turned out to be 15 years. The 2 hours I spent with him, words are powerful. If we want to drag our world in chaos, all we have to do is speak death into it. if we want our world to be different, and you hear words on the frequencies all over the world. Dr. Cooley's show right now is a life-changing show. It is your life. Take it back. It is your life. You're a champion for greatness. It is your life. It is yours. Is it mine? A lot of people will say, is it really? The reason why they're saying really is because someone or something took advantage of their belief system, and they are hopeless now. And now we come to bring that alignment to them. Yes, really, it is your life. Well, maybe I need all of these things to be added to me. Not when you have all these things. It's when you have you. It's when you accept you. It's when you believe in you. Healing begins with the self-care when the identity has been realigned back to the truth that's already exists. And so I'm so happy that when this guy flew back to Tennessee, his parents had kicked him out for years. Guess what happened? That was the day he tells them that I met a young man on the plane, and these are the words he say to me, and now he's extending the words of empathy and love to the family that had kicked him. They were only inviting him back to prepare him to die, not knowing that those words of alignment, they took over his immune system, they took over his entire circulation system, his mind, and all of a sudden, it was a phone call that I received that changed my life too. I was just a messenger. We need messengers of this truth.
We need messengers, and we need people that understands and speak the word of God. I mean, based on what they are. We're down to the last 2 minutes of the show. So, Bishop, can you give our viewers and our listeners in 1 minute or less, got to be 1 minute or less, some departing notes that they need to think about?
Yes. No, I'm honored. Thank you so much, Doctor. What I believe is for us to, number one, know that we are ambassadors for good. And we need to wear that garment right now. And every single day, we are deployed, whether to meet strangers or even going into the ground zeros of things. We are those ambassadors. I pray and I believe we live in the most unique time to solve the greatest needs of people today. And that's where I told our leaders and our board, I say, hey, wait a minute. I don't want to be in any other room that's wastes any time. I want to be in the room where people say, let's go and impart and bring goodness to people.
Got to bring goodness to people. Hey, Mike, thank you so much. I would love to have you back next month, because I think that this is so educational and so informative. So thank you so much. Dr. Tia, thank you for popping in. It's needed. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. She always do. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my phrase is always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back. Well, we're on Sunday on the radio, so you can check us out at 9 p.m. In San Diego on AM 1170 Answer, and in Dallas AM 660. The Answer is 6 p.m. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.